Hi, and welcome back to the Put Yourself First podcast. This episode is a celebration of my upcoming free mindset and manifestation experience workshop series, extravaganza. This is honestly like famous within my community at this point, this free 4-day experience. You do not want to miss it. People literally wait until this comes back around so that they can sign up again. Yes, it's free. Yes, it's that good. And yes, my paying clients within Next Level You, which the doors are opening to at the end of November, on the back of this experience, you'll be invited to join. My paying clients who join Next Level You still come to this free workshop series because it's so fucking good and they still get so much from it. So you do not want to miss it. And honestly, I'm not going to shut up about it for the next few weeks because I know you'll probably be on your walk, you'll be at the gym, you'll be walking your dog, you're at your desk, you're doing whatever you're doing, cleaning your house, cooking your tea. So I need you to sign up. And I know that right now you might be doing something. So I'm going to just not shut up about this until you've signed up to it because it's so freaking good. And I need you to be here so that you can receive these shifts, this healing, this freedom that you deserve so you can have the best fucking life ever. That's what I want for you. You deserve to live your dream life, whatever that means for you, whatever your version of success is within that, whatever your goals are right now, whatever your next level looks like, whether it's a promotion, whether it's a new home that you're manifesting, whether you are dating right now and calling in your dream person, whether you want to see a certain figure in your bank account, whether you're ready to put yourself first and prioritize your well-being and take your health to the next level, whatever it is right now that you are focused on, I want you to have that. So if you want that too, make sure you're signed up for Freedom to Rise. It's happening on the 20th of November. There is literally no excuse to not sign up because A, it's free, B, you get the replay. So no matter where you are in the world, you can enjoy it, you can take part in it, no matter if you're busy at the time the lives are on. And every single woman who comes to these workshops is blown away by what is on offer, the shifts that she experiences, the breakthrough she has from 4 hours of coaching workshops with me. Like, it is that potent. So that is in the show notes. Please sign up. And to celebrate this event, which I look forward to every single year, because there's something so special as well about this time of year. I personally feel like November and December, there is this energy of change happening that is under the surface, but is still just as powerful as when things have come into fruition. And I guess the analogy I would use, if we're looking at it from a seasonal perspective, and I've done an episode on like embracing the seasons of life, I think it's called. That's a really great one to listen to if you resonate with what I'm about to say. We're entering winter, and in winter, we know that everything that we see on the surface dies and falls away. So the leaves are like all on the ground right now. Eventually, moving into like mid-November, certainly into December, we'll see the trees are like fully bare. We have a gorgeous park that we walk regularly nearby. And I love that you see the seasonal changes of the year. It's like this marker of the year being in that park, being in nature, because you can see the symbolism of winter. And whilst it looks like everything has fallen away and everything is quiet and cold and like everyone wants to be inside and be cozy, we know from a like agricultural perspective, winter is just as vital for for nature, for growth, as the spring summer where everything is blooming, the fruits and vegetables are ripening and ready to pick. Winter is just as vital, because in winter, when everything falls away, that means that the soil, the underground, the earth is being nourished, is being renewed, is like all the things that have fallen off, the trees, the plants, everything that's dying is going back to the earth and having this process of renewal and recycling and feeding the soil, feeding the roots of the trees, so that come spring, come summer, what has been nourished, what has been fed, can be used to help the new life flourish, help renew, help, the gorgeous flowers and blossoms in spring that we see, and delicious fruit that we get to pick and eat. That wouldn't be able to happen without the winter. And so many people wait until the new year, wait until spring, and the weather picks up again, to feel like they're ready to feel more energized and like work on their goals. And don't get me wrong, I get that. I really get that. And you will catch me in January absolutely buzzing, like well excited to talk to you about goal setting. And there's something so potent about using the energy of this time of year, where you are really looking at what you are nourishing and nurturing within yourself. How are you working on your own internal world, your own inner transformation? And what seeds are you planting for next year? So if you resonate with wanting to use this time of maybe feeling cozier, right? Maybe having cozy nights in, or having more gentle plans around, putting the fire on, or like in the UK, there's this moment, isn't there, of where you put the central heating on for the first time. I know if you don't live somewhere where it gets cold, you won't relate to that. But I think we all enter this cyclical phase of wanting to go inwards, wanting to relax more, wanting to rest more. And what if you could use that time to really think about who you choose to be in this next era of your life? And if you could commit to yourself for the next couple months to go inwards, to look at that internal landscape, to really nourish and nurture yourself, to plant some seeds, what will be manifested in your life come springtime next year, come summertime 2024. That gets me excited. And I really feel like November, December is like this portal that you can either utilize and make the most of, and use as this time to really nourish that inner world, or you can think, well, there's no point doing anything until January, right? There's no point trying until next year now. Like, I think people end up on one like side of the fence or the other. And I know the women listening to this podcast will resonate with what I've shared, because whilst no matter what you're feeling about this year, maybe you have had a shit year, right? Objectively, maybe shit things have happened. Maybe you are struggling with your goals. Maybe you're not happy with where you are right now. And I also know that deserves its own honouring, doesn't it? And I'm not saying that you should be spending the next 2 months hustling your ass off. Not at all. That's not what I'm saying. If anything, this free workshop series is about pouring back into yourself and taking this time for yourself to truly go inwards, reflect, and regroup. You're going to feel shifts. You're going to feel lighter by the end of this week. You're going to feel clearer on your next steps. You're going to have tapped into so much wisdom within yourself that you might not have ever accessed before. So I hope to see you there, and I am really excited about the rest of the year, and I hope you are too, to kick off this period. I want to talk about my method, my unique methodology that I use to help every single woman I work with manifest her goals and make manifesting your dream life feel actionable and possible for you, because it is, and it works with every single goal. I've not seen it not work when it's been applied. I've not seen it not work when it's been applied effectively, when it's been used with consistency and with faith and with trust. And that doesn't matter whether, like I said at the beginning, you're coming to this from wanting a promotion. Maybe you're coming to this from a personal relationships perspective, a hobbies and fun, a career move, growing your business, saving more money, traveling the world, whatever it is. This method applies to any single goal. So I want to break it down for you and make sure you're coming to the workshop if you want to know more about this, because we are going to be putting this into action, into practice throughout the week as well. So there are 4 key elements, and this is like your roadmap to manifesting your dream life. Like I said, any goal that you could want. There are 4 key elements, and each element is just as important as the other. This isn't a step-by-step linear process. I, in the past, have taught step by step in terms of this is my manifestation process. And whilst that still applies and is super effective, and I still have that within Next Level You, this light up, level up methodology, which is the name of my method my healing method that I use with clients, is more of a comprehensive view of it. And it's more of a bird's eye view where you can't really have one thing without the other. And I want to show you how that looks. I want to walk you through each of the elements so you can write them down, so you can learn them for yourself, so you can use them in your own life. And I want you to think as we go, which one of these needs my attention most right now? And whichever one that is, if you want to let me know on Instagram, drop me a DM and let me know. I think it's really valuable to note which of the elements you personally want to work on the most, because they're all important. And you might be like, oh, I'm smashing it in this one, but I need to work on this one. So the 4 elements to light up and level up, because the reason it's called light up, level up, is I believe when a woman does her healing work, when she is lit up within herself, when she is lit up and shining her light in the world, being her truest, most vibrant self, she can then level up in all areas of her life. The impact of that on her success, on her goals, on her abundance, on the people she attracts into her life, everything changes when a woman is lit up from within. So the 4 elements are: number 1, create your vision. Number 2, connect and trust. Number 3, heal the roots. And number 4, switch on your light. So create your vision. Creating your vision is all about getting crystal clear on who you are and what you want. And there's so much within that we can cover, and we do cover. There's tons of work on this inside of Next Level You, for example, and we're going to get started on this piece within Freedom to Rise, the free workshops. But creating your vision involves not just making a vision board and be done with it. Creating your vision means knowing who you are, having that self-awareness, knowing yourself, knowing what is important to you. One of the exercises I walk every client through in Next Level You is a values elicitation exercise. Basically, what do you value the most in life? Because we need to create your vision board, set your goals based on your version of success. And what you value might be different to someone else. So being able to get clarity and creating your own vision for your own dream life is so important. And it involves that self-awareness, knowing yourself, knowing what you want, knowing what makes you happy, and then being able to create a vision of life that inspires you, that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning to go at it. So creating your vision is so important. And the reason you need the other elements is so many people already have this. So many people listening will feel like, yeah, I'm quite self-aware, like I know what I want in life. I've got these goals, but you can have this huge vision, you can have this exciting goal, but if you're not doing the deeper healing work, you will very likely be inconsistent in your progress. You will feel blocked. You might be coming up against self-sabotaging behaviors like procrastination or people pleasing or numbing out and not feeling like no matter how hard you try, you're not prioritizing your goals, you're not taking action, you're not putting yourself first. And there might be fears creeping in. There might be an inner critic, a loud critical voice that is constantly putting pressure on yourself. All these things are creeping in, and they're snuffing out that fire of motivation that you get when you initially sit down to write down your goals, to think about what you want to achieve. So you can have your vision, but then you also need to be healing the roots, which brings us on to heal the roots. Healing the roots is about healing the root causes of those fears, of those beliefs, of those doubts, of that inner critic. Because if you're not doing that work, then you're going to struggle to take any sort of action. You need that deeper work. You need to work with your unconscious mind and with your nervous system. So I describe it to clients like, because you don't need to know unless you want to know, because I teach it, the science behind it, like how it works, how it all comes together. But what you do, all you need to know is that with Heal the Roots, with that aspect of the method, we're working on that mind, body, and soul level. So that 360, very holistic view of your personal development. So we look at the 360 view of this goal, because you might have a goal to be really confident and thriving in work and smashing that next promotion. But if there is a root fear of rejection and you're struggling in work with people pleasing, you're not speaking up in meetings, you're like silencing your voice, you're not being yourself, that is going to manifest in it's like the roots underneath the surface are not conducive to the result that you want. And we're going to talk about this so much more in the free workshops. So please make sure you come to them if you're resonating and you're like, oh my God, yes, this is me. Because it's like you want something, but a part of you is terrified to have it because there's these things under the surface that need looking at, that need healing, that need processing, that need rewiring in order for you to access the confidence that you need to manifest that goal. So we need to create your vision, and we also need to be healing the roots. However, you can do all that healing work and you can have this amazing vision. You know, and I see this time and time again where someone is spending hours and hours a week in personal development. They love it. It's a hobby of theirs. They, I've had clients who've been in therapy, for example, for over 10, 15 years. And they're very much aware, right? They're very much doing the work on themselves. But if you're just focusing on the personal development and, making the vision boards and learning about your limiting beliefs and doing meditations and all these other things, but you're not then showing up in your day-to-day life as the version of you need to be, the version of you truly are, taking the actions that person takes, speaking what that person wants to say, showing up as that best version of you, that lit up version of you, you are not going to see the results you want to see. Because it's like at home, in the comfort of your own home, you're doing all of this work, but you're not shining your light in the world. You're not that lit up version of yourself when you are inside the meeting in work, when you are working on your business, when you are on that date, when you're working on your savings goal and you're looking at your money. And we see this a lot where there's this disconnect where you can feel so motivated, so grounded, so relaxed, so great when you're doing all this personal development, listening to all the podcasts, reading all the books, doing all the courses. But that is not translating into your practice in your day-to-day life. So that can show up in a few different ways. It can show up as not taking the action you need to take. So like doing all this inner work, but then not taking the outer action steps that you need to take in order to achieve that goal, because you can't just make the vision board and it's going to show up. You need to, I call it meeting the universe halfway. If you don't meet the universe halfway by taking action, by doing the damn thing when you need to do it, then you're not holding up your side of the bargain. You're not truly being who you're supposed to be. And you might feel like you're accessing that version of you when you're doing the meditation or when you're journaling. But then it's like you leave your front door or you open your bank account or you go to work, and that light, that lit up, authentic, powerful, embodied version of you is not translating into your day-to-day life. And that's why you also need to be switching on your light. Switching on your light is about showing up in the world as the version of you who already has it. So the version of you who already has the promotion, the version of you who already earns that amount of money, the version of you who already feels her best in her health and fitness, the version of you who is already booking that trip to that location. What is she doing? How does she show up? What actions is she taking? And this is part strategy. So, like, putting the goal setting framework into practice in your day-to-day life. It's also part identity and like energetics, because this might poke at some people, but I need to say it because it's true. Some people over-identify with their fears, they identify more with their fears, with their limiting beliefs, with their trauma, with the things that they're healing and going through. They identify with that more than they identify with their higher self, with their future, with their desires, with their dreams, with their values, with their, the things that light them up. They identify more with the healing work than they identify with the healed work. And that's not to say that it's one or the other. Like I said, these are elements, so it's all four. You don't need to wait until you've healed everything before you can enjoy your life and take action to get that shit that you want. That's part of manifestation too. It's not a dirty word to work for it and to take action. And some people get stuck in that healing piece and stuck feeling like when they're on their own, they're great. Like they feel great, they're motivated, they're never triggered by anything, they're fully healed, they're feeling amazing. But we need you to be out in the world living the life that you want to live as well. And switching on your light is all about that. It's about putting into practice, living and being that version of you that you want to be. So that switch on your light. And there's so much within that. There's so much within healing the roots that, like, I've spoken about at length on the podcast. I've done tons of episodes on like the unconscious mind, the nervous system, trauma. We will be covering a lot of that in the workshop. So if you're curious to learn more and be able to apply that to yourself, again, Freedom to Rise workshops. But within Switch on Your Light, a lot of it is taking action and embodiment. So embodiment is like being who you're here to be, showing up as that version of you in the world, and not getting stuck in what I call that like self-help cycle of overwhelm. And also something else I've been thinking lately is like the self-awareness trap, where you can be so aware of what is quote unquote, because I would never use this phrase to describe a client, but you can be so aware of what is quote unquote wrong with you, what your limiting beliefs are, what your trauma is, what your fears are, what your conditioning is, all these labels and negative things that you're so aware that you do. Oh, I'm aware that I have this trauma response. I'm aware that I procrastinate. I'm aware that this is how I block myself. You can be so aware of that, but if you're not receiving the right toolkit to truly heal that, so you can not have to deal with it every single day, and then also be receiving support and permission to fucking live your life and enjoy your life. Because what is the point otherwise of doing all this personal development if we're not then seeing the benefit of it in our life? If we're not feeling like we're feeling better, feeling more energized, feeling more confident. That's what it's about. So switching on your light is that embodiment. And it's so, so important. And that brings me all the way around right, to connect and trust. Because with connect and trust, this is a really potent, powerful element that ties everything together for me from a spiritual, but also an emotional level, a human level. Because if you do all the healing work you can, if you work with the best healers, coaches, therapists, if you have this incredible vision for your life and you have the goal setting strategy and you're taking action and you're feeling the benefits of that, if you have all of that, but you are not connected to your intuition and connected to the universe or a higher power that you believe in, I believe that it's like you're missing out on so much magic. If we're just working on that very, very conscious, logical level of trauma healing and goal setting strategy and action steps and like feeling like your best self, connect and trust like ties it all together because it brings the magic into it. It brings the spirit into it. And that spirit within you, because you have an inner guidance system, you have intuition, you have a higher self, you have this like compass within you that is constantly guiding you forward. And if you're not connected to that, you can be smashing all the other elements. You can be amazing with goal setting, manifesting, taking action, healing work, etc. But what you also might be doing is looking outside of yourself for all that information, like looking to a guru on the internet to receive this information about healing work or about manifesting or about, you know, a motivational speaker telling you how you can live your best life and achieve your goals. Without connecting and trusting, you're missing out on that magic that is within you. So connect and trust is a two-way conversation between your intuition and the universe and spirit, God, your higher self, whatever you believe in, whatever you resonate with. That is the missing piece for so many people. And whether they are scared to connect to that, many people have been taught to distrust their intuition. Many people feel disconnected from the universe, from God, from spirituality, from faith, because of religious trauma or conditioning or harsh, rigid rules and restrictive dynamics that have been placed on them. Many people have been encouraged to actively ignore their intuition and do what they think they should do in life, do what makes sense. There are so many things at play to have people like stray away from their magic, from the magic of themselves and from the magic of the universe, this beautiful source of life force energy that is constantly at play in all of us, within all of our lives, and wants to support you, wants to guide you, wants to help you. And that is such an important element because I want you to feel the magic of that. I want you to feel the benefit of it, because you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. And when I realized that, everything changed for me. When I realized that I was my own wisest healer, when I realized that the universe has my back and is constantly conspiring in my favor to make my life beautiful. When I realized that and I opened myself to receiving that, everything changed for me. And yes, the shiny external things happened. Yes, I grew my business. Yes, I earned more money. Yes, I got to go on beautiful trips abroad. Yes, I felt sexier and more confident and like can show up differently in my life. Yes, my friends and family gave me more compliments. Yes, my boyfriend noticed. Yes, my sex life improved. Like, yes, yes, yes. All these external things happened as a result of me lighting up and leveling up. Yes, the external, cool, like that's really fun and exciting things happened. And my my faith, my spirituality gets me out of bed in the morning, even on the hardest days. Because the hard days will come. And this work is not about, oh, you do all this and then you'll never have an issue ever again. You'll never be triggered ever again. You'll be perfectly, angelic and light and manifesting queen forevermore. I mean, you will be that. And this also means that when things feel difficult, when something does come up to the surface to be healed, when you do experience grief, loss, heartbreak, losing something, losing one of your goals, right? Losing a job, losing a relationship, losing a loved one. These things happen. And with this element of trusting yourself and of trusting in something bigger than you, that is guiding you, that is loving you, that is supporting you, you can get through anything and you are literally unfucking stoppable. So to recap, so you can really pick out which one of these elements are you tuning into, needing to work on, needing to lean into more. Number one was create your vision. Number two was connect and trust. Number three was heal the roots. And number four was switch on your light. Show up as that version of you. Which one of those do you want / potentially need to work on more? And if the answer is all four, amazing. Like, you are in the right place. And please come to the workshop. If it's one or two, amazing as well. Because this journey, this methodology, this work is for everyone. And there might be times where you come and you're like, this is what I want to work on, and I'm feeling really good in these other areas. But then there might be a time in the future where you're like, ooh, I'm noticing that actually I've got this amazing vision. Like, I'm really good with my goal setting. I do feel very connected spiritually, and I feel like I'm trusting my intuition. And I am I am showing up as this version of myself, but I'm noticing this fear coming up. I'm noticing this limiting belief coming up, and you can identify, right, heal the root. Remember what Kat said, heal the root cause. How can I go back and do that? What resources, what support can I tap into? So having this methodology laid out is so valuable for not just now, but in the future. So this might be an episode you come back to. It might be an episode you review every 6 months to think, where am I at right now? Which one am I leaning into more? And if you want to learn the full method, the full methodology, and get started for free, sign up for Freedom to Rise, happening on Monday, the 20th of November, 2023. All replays will be available, and it's open for everyone, all levels, all situations, all goals. No matter if you just discovered the podcast, this is your first ever episode, you started listening recently, or you've come to every single one of my free workshops that I've ever done. Everyone is welcome, everyone is invited, and everyone is going to receive guidance and next steps from this experience. And I hope to see you there. And I'll see you in my next episode. Check out the show notes for all the links you need, and I'll see you next Monday.